Hi everyone, come back to Technology Innovation Hub. So it's going to be the 8th session from Oracle portal and Grid Infra Standalone. So this is going to be the last one for our setup. So now we have to compare the database. So let me share the screen. So this is the installation of the database software only. It is successfully completed, right? Right. So let's right away we can call DBCA, right? So in the same window, right, we can run DBCA, database configuration assistant, in order to create a database. So we are creating a multi-tenancy enabled database. That means a contain and pluggable architecture with that, right? So on ASM, we have the data one this group ready, right? Let's do it. All right, create a database. Super advanced configuration. Yeah, general purpose database, right? So I did that way. The DB name, I think we gave our bash profile. The name is that should be the one ASMCDB. So this is the name. I can take it like that. ASMCDB. Yeah, it is taken. Sorry. Yeah, ASMCDB global database name, and we need to have a create a container database. Yeah. Local undo table space will be enabled. Yeah, create an empty container database, create a container database with PDB. So we will create the one with one PDB. That's okay. ASM, CDB, PDB. It's okay. So that's the container database will be ASM, CDB, and pluggable will be coming up with this name automatically. That's okay. So we are going to have a CDB with one PDB, right, on ASM. Let's continue. Use the template. Now let's use following storage. Now, yeah. Database file storage on ASM, that's true, and ASM. So database file location, not FRA, should be data one. So why FRA is taken? Because that is has a larger space than FRA. So let's untick this one. We don't need to have Oracle managed files, right? So if you browse it, you should get data one, right? So let's put on data one, right? Data one for our database, right? FRA is for fast recovery area, right? So no multiplexing. Let's leave those things aside. Okay, next. We have 5 GB of DC space. Setting ASM storage option is selected for data file location. However, OMF is not selected. Yeah, you can read that and see what it says, right? OMF is recommended when data file is true. Okay, let's follow the recommendation. Right? So it's given Oracle managed file names. Right? We learn OMF. Like this is not basic. No, right? No basic talk. You know what is OMF is, right? But in the basic systems, OMF will be taught in details later. Anyway, let's keep that, no problem. Multiplexing, let it be with log file and all, no, so let it be. Let's continue. All default I am keeping. We will enable FRA. For FRA, we select, we have FRA. Yes, fast recovery will be enabled for backup and all, right? This one is not a must to keep in ASM, but since we are putting everything in all ASM, so let that one also be ASM, no problem. Right? So next, Oh, insufficient disk space. Yeah, I think that's a minimum expected for FRA. But yes, I did the mistake. No, right? By default, it's taken 12 GB. So we are not a production. No, let's make it 6 GB. Right? Make it 6 GB. Fine. No, right? We have 6.1 GB. No, that's enough. Now what it says, specific processing area 6.1 less than the recommended. The location specified processing area insufficient space less than the recommended value. That's okay. We can okay. Enable outside less than the recommended value. Because this does something called replication. So that's why it's being that. Okay. Yeah. So specify processing area size 515 is less than recommended size. Do you want to continue? Yes, I continue. No problem. Don't worry about that. Leave it. Right? This is not a production, right? So we don't have that. We don't own that much of this first far, right? Create a new listener. At the moment, the listener is I think the ASM listener is running. Yeah, because there's a default listener get created with ASM installation. So that should be running in the default port, right? So now here the database listener. So therefore, if we try to, let's see listener configuration. If we click here, create a new listener, and if we say listener, this is what this. Let's check. And let's say 1521. If I try to use the default port, yeah, this is what it says. It says already in use. That is because default ASM listener is available there, right? Because it's already by default is created because we have already installed the ASM component. CR is installed, and therefore CR standalone is installed. The listener is running there. So this is the database listener. If you want to configure listener here for database, we have to use a different port, right? So we can with a different name, listener DB, and 1522 like. Anyway, so I feel like we better get familiar with the environment a bit further before just clicking. We can just click and finish this one. But if you want to find the details about the listener, so let's we can check it out like this. Let's see. Yeah, this is the listener information. So the first thing is if you want to get the current processes running on, you can like this. Yeah, sorry CTL listener. Yes, that will give you that sorry CTL. Yeah, you can see the listener is enabled and is running at the moment. That is the ASM listener, right? And further, if you want to get the details of the listener, so let me check I'm in the right place. Yeah, I'm in the grid home, and this is where the listener file is located. Network admin as usual in the database also. So if I just let's check it, we should have the file. So cat listener. Yeah. So here we have the details. So you can see that is configured on 1.21. So that's the reason it's not allowed to reuse, right? So if you want, we have to use a different port, right? But this is the ASM listener. You can find more details about it. Let's check. We can run the, if you want to find the details, let's see a few more commands. We can run the config command as status we checked, and this one checked. This one SRCD config ASM will give the Yeah, ASM listener and the listener name. You can see the ASM listener, the listener name is listener, right? And it gives other details, password file, and that's as well. I have included these few commands in the document guide so that you can get familiar with the environment a little bit, the Grid Infra Standalone environment, right? And further, if you want to check the ASM details, ASM instance details as well, so you can just type the command like ps minus ef also fine, but you can type the pgrep command, right? Pgrep command, and let's list and the full path and all, and you can type ASM. Now you can see it shows you the all ASM processes there, because there's ASM instance running. We can connect to it. We'll do those things later, right? You can see the ASM instance background process are running, right? Yeah, this is the balancing process also there, because because ASM is fully optimized for Oracle database, it is much more better than RAID and those things, because the replication techniques, RBAL process, now because whenever you add the new base, it has to do a balancing. So RBAL is responsible for that. So yeah, and it does replication technique is different, right? Rather than not like RAID, right? Okay, so that is that, and if you want, we can run the same command for ls command for tns as well. Yeah, since it is not associated with the database, it just gives the process name only. Yeah, so we can find, we can go more commands, ps minus ef, and okay, we can go to lsnrctl as well to see the listener details further. lsnrctl, just type the status command, right? So you can see the details of the listener. It is running in 1.21. And instance ASM plus ASM1, where we gave the instance name. I may remember in the batch profile we gave plus ASM, right? So it is registered with this particular listener. You can see all these groups are there, right? So registered with this listener, right? So ASM is a different lesson totally, but I'm just telling you some brief detail. You might already know. In the beginner series, we'll have a great detail sessions for ASM. But this is not a beginner session, so I'm just touching upon certain things just to give you a quick recap. Since we are on in that wizard, we got some questions to be filled. That's right? Okay, so that is that, and further we can yeah, configure ASM command we run, and if you want, we have the ASMCMD command as well, right? So that tool also there. ASMCMD tool also there. I think I told we are not going to use this, but if you want, you can just run a few command like to get the server parameter file, spget, right? There are commands here. So this is the location of the server parameter file for ASM instance, right? Yeah, so those are the things. I think we are good now. So we know now there's a listener running, right, for our ASM instance. So let's get back to our wizard and complete this one. So let this port to be utilized for the database, right? So this listener DB is for a database. So let's have two listeners. So we are not planning to enable high availability services, HAS services for this particular ASM instance. Neither we are not trying to enable restart here. So therefore, it's okay to keep two listeners. So let's keep it, right? And let's go to next. We go no, skip, right? And delete default. Yeah, let's try to enable EM. Let's see what happens. 12.2 EM. I'm not going to explain it now, but let it configure. Like, let's see, 550, right? And another thing, if you are comparing this one, you must create that previous listener, right? Otherwise, because for the database to get linked with the CM, it needs the listener, database listener. ASM listener is a different thing. If you want, we can add that instance as well. Okay, right. Yeah, password. That's what, okay, fine. And good, it's okay, right? And create the database. Yes, so we are at the last screen. We can create the database. And further, if you want to see the parameter file details here, so this is the file which is going to use. And you may remember we gave a lower size for the array, so it's indicating that. So that's okay, right? And fine. So that's okay. So we have this is our database parameter, nothing to do with ASM, right? Right, and if you want customized storage locations also there, but again we have enabled OMF here, right? So OMF file names will be there, database as well, right? And it will be on yeah, our ASM disk group data. Okay, so just leave it. If you want, we can reduce some sizes. Let's see what are data files. Oh, yes, system pixel unused system. Okay, let's let it be. It's fine. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let it be, right. And let's say okay, right, and let's say next. So the last mouse screen recommended, that's the warning for the last fast recovery. Yeah, that's okay. Let's use that size and let's finish it, right? So all the things looks okay. Data files undo control files will be on data. One is on data. The ASM disk group, another one is on FRA. That's the normal thing, right? Okay, so let's finish. Let it create, right? So it might take nearly 10 minutes, right? 10 to 12 minutes. So now it's great. All right, so let it get created. Then so this document is now like fine. I think we have that step 15. Let's create the database with multi-tenancy enabled. First, let's get familiar with the grid environment a little. Fine, we have the commands, right? So DBC, yeah, I think all it is fine. Yeah. You saw that in the video it is there, no, how to create the database, so I don't think necessarily include anything on the DBCA, right? Now, yes, okay, let's create the database with multi-tenancy enabled using, let's say, using DBC. Okay, that's fine. That will do it, right? So I'll upload this document, right? And then we will complete our practical enabling ASM with standalone and creating a multi-tenancy database with CDB, PDB. All right, so let me just stop this for a while and I'll get back once this is done, right? All right, so we have the database created finally. So this screen is done. Database configuration information, identification, find our database name, the multi-tenant database name, and the parameter file location, which we have checked earlier as well. And URL, localhost, local domain 550 EM. Let's check that one later. HTTPS 550 number. Okay, let's close it, right? So that completes the practical. If you want, we can just check it. The database is there, right? Here, class. Yeah, I have So, right, so we have that one, and we should have mm, uh, get content ID1, and we can connect all others. Let's do those practicals later. And ASMDB, yeah, we can check the ASM instance as well. That's fine. Yeah, that's control file. Yeah, so that's in ASM. Location is in ASM. So you saw these locations were created in the database as well, right? So one step, right? Let's check the data files, right? Yeah, we have everything. Everything is fine. So database is up and running, right? So we can go for our next session with the next practical, the migration that we are planning to do. Let me give the details with the next session. So this completes the ASM database creation with the standalone Grid infrastructure. All right, okay. If you like the video, you can put a subscribe. Thank you very much. I'll meet you soon with the next practical. Okay, have a nice day. Bye-bye.